Hello, my name is Matt Parrott. I'm the Director of Transportation for A&N Deringer, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the SOLAS guidelines. SOLAS is the Safety of Life at Sea Act that has been around for actually decades, but was recently amended in 2014 due to some vessels crashing for overweight containers. SOLAS is going to take effect July 1st, 2016, so it's time that we really start paying attention to it. So what are the basic changes for SOLAS? The biggest change is that the carriers are going to require a verified gross mass certificate for all containers. What does that mean? Right now, there's not any consistent guidelines about how to file the verified gross mass certificate, whether it's going to be electronic or whether it's going to be a paper copy. Right now, they're saying they're going to basically accept anything. So there's no standard format and there's no requirement by any carrier or by any terminal yet, only saying that they are going to require it as of July 1st. So what are the methods to actually get the verified gross mass for your container? The first one would be the simplest, I guess, to drive your truck and trailer over a verified scale and get the weight that way. It has to be a certified scale, it has to be in service, and it has to have all the standard weights and measures that are required to say that it is a certified scale. The second method would be to have all of the boxes weighed, have the written weight on the boxes, and make sure that you take into consideration all the dunnage and the packing and pallets or anything else that is required there, and add that to the tare weight that is on the door of the container. So those are the two methods that will be allowed to go onto the verified gross mass certificate. How is this going to work? Quite honestly, we have no idea. There has not been any kind of actual guidelines put out. A few carriers and a few terminals have suggested how they will do this, but there has not been any hard and fast method that says we are going to accept X, Y, and Z. So what I recommend right now is that we get very prepared to be able to file the verified gross mass certificate, and make sure that we have a plan in place how to get the actual weight certified. Whether you're going to use method 1 and roll it over a scale, or you're going to use method 2 and add the tare weight to the actual weight of the goods, we have to be prepared to do that. Who is responsible for this? The shipper on the bill of lading for the actual carrier is responsible to do this. So if it's an overseas shipment, it would be the foreign shipper. If it's an export from the U.S., it would be the shipper here in the U.S. Deringer is a non-vessel operating common carrier, commonly referred to as an NVOCC. So for any export shipments where we're acting as the NVOCC, we will be responsible for the verified gross mass certificate. Of course, we'll be issuing a house bill of lading, and we require our customers, the actual shipper, to give us that VGM so we can be sure that the weight is verified. Exceptions. The exceptions are a bit obscure, so I want to make sure that I get them right. So there are only 3 exceptions. Containers on chassis or trailers driven on a ro-ro vessel for short international voyages. Ro-ro means ride on, ride off. Cargo tendered to the vessel for packing into containers already on board the ship. And offshore containers to which the IMO guidelines do not apply. IMO is International Maritime Organization, and that is who issued the SOLAS guidelines. So what is the future going to bring? Again, it's very difficult to tell what it's going to bring. There are some folks out in the marketplace who think that the date is going to slip past July 1st. I don't think it's going to. I think that they are going to require the verified gross mass certificates, but I think it's going to come down to a commercial decision, port by port, and also carrier by carrier. If you do not show up with a verified gross mass certificate and you're shipping ping pong balls, are they going to turn you away and not get that revenue that they're going to gain for that container? Common sense would probably say they aren't, because the enforcement of this regulation is, I'm sorry, it's not a regulation, it's a guideline. The enforcement of this guideline lays actually at the hands of the Coast Guard. And the Coast Guard's purview is actually only over the vessel operators. It's not with the shippers. So the Coast Guard does not actually have the authority to find the shippers who are responsible to do this. They do, however, and have, however, fined the vessel operators for putting overweight containers on their vessels. So it's a bit confusing right now, to say the least. But what you do need to know is that we need to comply with it. Deringer does have a plan in place to handle this, and we will be ready on July 1st. In fact, we could probably do it right now if we had to. So what I recommend, if you are confused about this, because quite honestly, even though I'm giving this presentation, it is still quite confusing, please reach out to Deringer or another service provider and make sure that they're prepared to be able to file the SOLAS VGM certificate on time and regularly, or you could get per diem or demurrage on your containers. As always, if there's any question, please feel free to contact Ann Deringer. We're happy to be here and happy to service you. Have a great day.